Hello there, and welcome back to the lands of Aecathan. No professionals, just a smidge of fancy tech, but a dedicated group of 4 women who gathered together to play an all-original game of Dungeons & Dragons. I'm Jeff, I'm your game master, and remember, if you're ever asked to a meeting where the topic of discussion is time, do not volunteer to be the one taking minutes.
I could use some extra minutes.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. You get blamed for a lot.
That's true.
So, all right, let me bring you up to speed on what happened last time. The 4 arose from a night's sleep at Duneshadow Manor and began planning their day. They contacted General Warbender, who arrived to hear their story of Ballinamard, but he didn't seem all that upset at first, which was frustrating for a few members of the group. He did agree to the wisdom of convening a war council of sorts, and volunteered to contact Masters Obras and Indrus at the Tower of Azinor and Father Dilbiss at the Fairy Sanctum, leaving the group to contact Mother Tassa. When the evening arrived, the group assembled also included the High Enchanter Ahagan Unvusim from the Tower of Azinor and the High Curate Awanita Nokomis from the Fairy Sanctum. After verifying that none of the attendees had had their memories changed in any way, Mother Tassa was able to provide the group with some much-needed intelligence on the Thuilnu, although she admitted that her knowledge of the Thuilnu is over a century old at this point. But based on that information, the group began to formulate a plan to return to Ballinamard, seek out the Thuilnu conclave beneath the city, and, with the help of some promised assistance from the Tower and the Sanctum, wipe it out. A plan was then put in place to meet again the following evening to finalize strategies and then put the plan of attack in motion. And so, the next morning, that is where we begin.
Yeah.
Someone, I believe one of you or all of you were going to be responsible for contacting Vines, and I do remember you said wanting to meet with Viessa.
Yes.
Oh, yes. That was the...
Start with breakfast.
Okay.
Sure, Viessa's not quite up yet.
Yeah, I was going to say, were you guys going to go talk to her last night?
I thought that was the plan, but I think we just, when we ended, we went to bed. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, breakfast first. You know, it's the most important meal of the day.
Yes.
I'm sure that breakfast has been laid out per usual in the family area on the 2nd floor.
And we eat.
And drink a lot of coffee.
Okay.
And has the new outfit arrived yet?
Yes.
So we'll have that laid out in one of the bathing chambers so that he can bathe and put on his new clothes.
Okay. A little while after you all have begun eating, the door opens and Tosk enters leading a rather confused-looking Jas.
Good morning.
Hi. Okay, thank you, Mr. Tosk. I didn't know where to go. It's just Tosk, and you are welcome. He was wandering around looking for all of you.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I just...
Have a seat.
The only place I knew was the porch up on the top, and I didn't figure you'd be eating up there. and the room where I was sleeping, and then the room where all those people were meeting last night.
This is where we usually dine, just with our family.
Oh, okay. Do you want me
So
to go
you're-
somewhere else?
No, you're welcome here.
Oh,
absolutely.
okay. Okay. Good, because I think I'm actually hungry.
That's
Great.
wonderful. As you can see, our cook puts on an impressive display of food, and you're welcome to as much as you can eat.
Thanks. And he just grabs a plate and immediately begins, ladling himself out food and sits down and just starts eating.
Did you find the bathing chamber and your clothes?
There's a bathing chamber?
We had we procured some clothes for you because you came here with only what you are wearing, and since we whisked you away before you had time to pack anything, we figured it was the least we could do. So after breakfast, if you'd like to bathe and put on something fresh, that'll be available for you in the bathing chamber just outside of your room.
Oh,
I'll show you
wow.
where it is.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm starting to smell.
Well, it's always nice to have something clean to put on.
Yeah.
The look on Pam's face is so great. Oh my god.
At least we got him something new.
Oh.
If you've raised teenagers, you know that they don't. It's a common thing.
That funk. Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
familiar.
Oh my goodness. Well, should we go see Viessa first?
Probably a good idea.
This
And
is
maybe-
this is the person that my dad worked with.
Mhm.
Ooh, works for.
Oh,
I'd
wait,
like to meet her.
wait until he bathes and showers and stuff, and then
Yes.
we'll wait around.
And maybe he can see a little of the city while he's traveling as well.
Did you just want it to be just Aribell and Tasha? Is that what you guys were gonna do last night?
Yeah. We were just gonna.
And then him, right?
Yeah.
Then I will stay here.
And I'll take care of some matters of the estate.
So while we're waiting for Jas to clean up, I'll send a message to Vines.
Okay.
Vines need your help.
Kind of dangerous.
It's time to save Aecathan again.
Kind of dangerous.
Kind of dangerous. Are you game? Tasha.
Kind of dangerous, probably going to die. Pay
Well, are you in?
sucks. Are you in?
Are you in?
Sound like fun?
I mean, I thought it's time to save Aecathan again. Danger is implied.
Yeah, true, I guess.
After a
Pay
brief
minimal.
pause,
I'm getting good at this brevity.
you hear, "Of course I'm in. I'm always ready to help. But you need to send orders to my commander, releasing me into your unit for this mission. Once you do, tell me where to meet."
Perfect. That can be arranged. I'll handle that today.
Duneshadow Manor?
Duneshadow Manor. Erma.
All right. Once I get the orders, give me 3 hours, and I'll be there.
Wow. Let me drop everything. I'll be right there. Nice.
I think when we were talking about the teleport stuff, I think vines can travel magically.
He can.
So that's helpful.
That is helpful. All right. So all I have to do is get Warbender to assign him to us for the time being, which shouldn't be a problem.
Seems like the least he can do.
Indeed.
Do you want to send him a message, or do you want to go by his office, Tasha?
Let's go by his office on the way to Viessa.
Okay.
So I drink some more coffee.
Okay.
Because coffee.
Jas finishes his food and says...
I'll take him up to show him where the washroom is.
Okay, all right.
While we're waiting, I'll just play my lute for a while. And I give you an unfinished version. Ooh, I can speak English. Of my new song. I'm gonna finish it soon. Still working on it.
Question for the game master.
Yes, ma'am.
Now that he has given me this Obras Greater Sending,
Mm-hmm.
is that something I can add to my thing now, or do I have to wait until our next level?
If you can find the opportunity to actually have him teach it to you.
Well, he gave me 2 scrolls.
Right.
Okay,
But
I don't
if
know what that
he-
means.
Well, remember, he's coming back today, and he's coming early to talk everybody through the Noctomancy spells.
I don't know how. Okay, I don't know how long it would take him to teach it to me. I would imagine it would be longer than reading a scroll, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll ask him to stick around maybe and teach it to me, I guess.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to remove a spell from my thing.
Yes.
So rude.
Okay. Okay.
Or you can just wait and do that later.
Well, I'm gonna Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, so it's up to you.
All right.
You know, do whatever you think is best for you, considering what's likely coming up.
Okay.
Let's make the time.
Well, while they're busy doing whatever they're going to be busy doing with Viessa, then I'm just going to run through all my spells and see if I can whittle something out. Ugh. Hey, thanks.
Okay. All right. About an hour or so. Gwen, once you drop him off, where do you go? Do you go back to the dining room?
Well, if everyone else is leaving, then
They're not leaving till he's done.
okay. Yeah, I'll go back to where the others are.
Okay. It takes Jas about an hour. But he comes back in dressed in new clothes and carrying something wrapped in a towel. And he says, Is there a place maybe where I can hang this stuff up to dry? I figured while I was there I'd wash my old clothes too.
Oh, we could have taken care of that for you.
I've doing my own washing for a while. But I just don't know where to hang them up to dry. I mean, I could take them and hang them over the railing up on the porch on top, I guess. But, I don't know if you want me to do it somewhere else or...
We'll take care of it. I take his things and hand them off to my maid.
Okay.
She'll know what to do.
Okay. Yeah, she's hovering outside the door.
As always.
Yeah. Right, I'll see to it, don't worry. They might actually even be dry by the time your people show up tonight if he needs them.
Thank you. That's very helpful.
Sure. So has he said anything about me?
Not yet, but I'll ask him. Have you actually introduced yourself to him?
I don't think that'd be proper.
Well, come with me.
He knows who I am.
Jazz, this is Gerda.
No.
No?
No, the other him.
Oh,
Athgar.
gotcha. I thought she'd met him before.
Not
In passing? Right? I'm just
Okay.
curious if he's said anything that I might need to know where to be in the evening.
Oh, he said that he was flattered, but that he was planning to just get some rest.
Right, well, that was a night or two ago. I'm assuming he's probably rested by now.
You could ask him. Would you like me to ask him for you?
Well, if it comes up.
I'll make sure it does.
All right.
I'll go back into the room and sidle up next to Athgar, and in a voice that is pitched low but will definitely still carry to the others, I say, Girta sends her regards and once again offers her services if you should be lonely this evening.
Is this before or after the meeting?
After, I would assume. She's looking to warm your bed, and in a more than just momentary type of way.
Well, if she wants the bed, I have somewhere else to sleep.
No, she's offering to sleep with you in the bed.
I know.
Oh, okay. Just making sure you understood.
I understand.
Okay.
But I think tonight I'm probably going to be working on my own mansion,
Okay.
and likely I'll just stay there, especially if I manage to finish it. But
Okay.
tell her I appreciate the offer.
I'll take like 3 steps away from Athgar, face the door, and say, Girte's going to be working tonight, so maybe another time.
You hear a muted, "Damn it." At which point Athgar finally turns red.
Always lovely to see that you can still blush.
It is a nice shade of pink.
Healthy, even.
Maybe we could not harass Athgar for like a day.
I'm simply making
It's-
him aware of the possibilities.
It's fine. It's nice to be wanted,
Isn't it though?
but it doesn't feel appropriate.
I appreciate that about you. Because it's not.
And on that note,
Awkward.
Jas is just kind of looking at all of this like, is she lonely? I mean, no offense, your lordship, but wow.
oh,
Oh.
I'm going to mention that to Girta later.
poor kid. How old
May-
is Jas?
He's like 22.
Oh yeah. He's old enough.
He's legal.
It's fine.
How old is Girta?
Oh, she's in her early 30s.
Oh, it'd be
Ooh.
perfect for her.
In fact, I'm just going to edge my way toward the door right now and be like, Girta, Jas is available and interested.
Right in front of him.
No, I'm whispering.
There's actually no response.
Oh, that's hilarious.
She's left her little position,
No.
Yes, she
or
has.
she's just not.
Oh, has she? Okay. Oh,
She's
that's
probably
really
left her
funny.
little position.
the damn it was accompanied by soft footfalls
Stomp,
away
stomp,
from the
stomp.
door. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to cast message,
Okay.
which is a cantrip for me now, and just say, Girta, this is Gwen. Wanted to let you know that Jas is available, interested, and was
Willing to learn.
surprised that anyone would turn down your charms.
Nice.
You can respond to this message.
Thank you for letting me know, your ladyship. I'll keep that in mind if I decide I'm actually in the mood again.
Oh my.
Oh.
She had her heart, or something lower, set on Apgar.
There's nothing appropriate I can say to that.
Mm-mm.
I think we should move on from this topic.
Sure.
Please.
We're all ready. You all ready to go to Viessa's?
Yes.
Excellent.
I'd like to stop by Warbender's office first. You ready to go, Aribell? Okay.
And
Sorry, I had to find the button.
what should I be doing?
Well, can you think of anybody? Well,
Apgar just
When
stop. Let it go.
she's in your employ.
Let it go.
She wouldn't be doing this
Let it go.
as an employee.
Ugh.
It's her own choices.
I'm staying here and writing and trying to figure out some things. So I don't know what you want to do, Athgar. It's up to you.
Maybe you can work on your mansion now.
Then you'd be free this evening.
That's not what I meant. I am not helping you.
I know. What are you doing in your mansion?
reconfiguring.
I figured that's what you were doing.
Is it like redecorating?
I'm completely restructuring. I'm trying to find a way to present it that is something more me. Something that feels what used to feel like normal, in the hopes that it will again.
You could always consult with Wiggy. He's an excellent interior decorator.
If you need a hand, I'd be happy to offer any assistance I could.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
Want me to message him?
No. What time are we meeting?
6, I believe.
Same time.
Yes.
Let's see.
Or that time. I think it's 2 hours.
All right. I'll continue to give it some thought, and in a little while I will go and find Wiggy.
If you change your mind about the help, I'll be in my office.
I appreciate that.
Do you
I'm
think
going
we should take Jas? Yeah, I mean, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so
I think that was the plan, was this
Yeah,
was
it-
also going
it
to be
was.
introducing him to Viessa.
yeah.
So I'm going to go practice with my scrying ball in my office.
Don't peek on anybody inappropriate.
I won't.
And we leave for Warbenders.
Okay. All right, the three of you head out of the manor, out into the courtyard. And both of you make a history check.
Okay.
Hmm. 25.
22.
You both come to the same thought just half a second apart. You're about to walk out of the warm courtyard into the cold. Jas doesn't have a coat.
Oh,
No, I arranged for a coat. That was part of the outfit.
Oh, was it? Okay.
yeah.
All right. I just understood it was the clothing. Like just the outfit, but...
No, part of it was winter clothing.
Oh, okay.
So when we leave the courtyard, it won't be as cold as home, but it will be much cooler.
Okay. Hey, anything warmer than home is warmer. So,
Understood. All right, so we head off for Warbenders.
okay. Walk out of the courtyard onto the street, and Jas kind of stops for a minute, and he's just kind of looking around, and it seems like he's sort of trying to feel what the actual temperature is. And then he immediately unfastens the coat and opens it. This isn't really cold at all.
No, it's starting to turn to spring here.
Yeah. I mean, this is spring in Ballinamard.
Ugh.
Welcome to Airmont.
Yes, welcome to
Thanks.
Aermaghian. Wait until you see Thunder's Edge, let me tell you.
Definitely warm there. It's in the desert.
Yeah.
I've always been curious about Thunder's Edge because it also has like different clans
It
that
does.
sort of run things there,
Yes.
Mhm.
but I know they're different than the clans back home.
Yes.
Athgar and Gwen are actually of the Lion clan. Athgar's father is the leader of Thunder's Edge.
So he's a prince. Now I'm trying to figure out if I did anything to embarrass myself in front of a prince.
You didn't. You were fine.
Believe me, he's embarrassed himself in front of us plenty of times. Don't worry.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Somehow that doesn't make me feel any better.
But you didn't do anything wrong. You were
He
fine.
didn't. And he wouldn't want you to
Okay.
treat him any differently than you did or that we do, because of who his father is. Athgar's learning to make his own way in the world and be judged for his own accomplishments, not because of how he was born.
He's not that kind of prince.
I guess I didn't know there were different kinds of princes. I've never
Well-
met one before.
Yes, well, most of them are kind of snotty, but he is trying really hard to find his own way. Like Aribell said.
All these things I never even knew I didn't know.
There's no reason for you to have known. It's fine.
So, where are we going?
We're going to my boss's office.
And
so
he's the
that general.
dwarf.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. General
Warbender.
Warbender. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go see Viessa.
And that's at this shouting pirate place?
Yes.
Well, she is often there. She is in a relationship with the owner.
Okay.
She has her own private sanctum, lair, den.
Sanctum. Sanctum is good.
Lair. Okay. Never met anybody who had a lair. Unless, does that house count as Coin Lawrence lair?
No, that's her manor.
Okay. And that's different.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a different vibe. Definitely.
I'll figure
You'll
this
see
all
when
out
we-
eventually.
You'll see when we get there.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So we get to Warbenders. Knock.
Come in.
Sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, young man. Hi. Good morning.
I would like to request that you reassign Vines to our unit for the time being so that he can come with us to Ballinamard. He would be invaluable, sir.
Corporal Cherrier.
Yes.
All right. I assume this is something you're wanting sooner rather than later.
Yes, sir.
That can be done. I'll write up the orders and have them sent over the Far Signal network. He should
Thank you, sir.
He should be receiving them within an hour at the most.
Excellent. He'll be here today then.
He's in Greensboro.
Yep. He said he could be here in 3 hours once he gets his orders. You know,
Well,
magic.
I'll be interested to see how he accomplishes that.
Have we seen him do it?
No.
Okay. Do we know how any of us know how druids?
No.
Nope. But
You've
I believe
heard
him.
stories about druids being able to travel reasonably long distances through plants and trees,
Okay.
but not this distance.
Gotcha.
So how he's going to get from Greenboro to Aermaghian in just 3 hours?
Maybe he's got to make a bunch of hops, right?
Yeah, could be.
he told me he could do it. I believe him. I have no reason not to trust him.
Understood. All right. Anything else?
Not at this time, sir, but I'm sure I'll think of something else.
I'm sure you will. All right. Dismissed.
Thank you, sir. Come, Jas. Let's go.
Okay. Bye, your generalship.
Oh god.
I know.
Kind of worried about Viessa eating him up.
Well, we'll play it by ear. All right. Let's go see Jojo.
Okay. As you're crossing Eastbridge, you suddenly realize that you've lost Jas.
Oop. I
Stopped
turned
and
back around.
looking at something.
He is over on the right-hand railing, just staring at the harbor and all the ships. Well, to him it's a lot of ships, but you know there's not very many in port at the moment.
Stop and go back.
Did you see something interesting?
All those docks, they're huge. I mean, we got lots of docks, but they're for the fishing ships. They're not that big. And some of those ships, the masts are taller than any of the buildings in Ballinamard.
Mm-hmm.
They travel long distances.
I think I might like to go on one of those someday.
I can arrange a tour if you'd like.
You mean actually go out on one of those?
Sure.
What would I do?
Well,
I mean,
if you're interested, I mean, that's a different kind of life than you have now. I mean, you could become an apprentice and learn everything.
Jas, you have survived something that a lot of people wouldn't be able to do. That means you have skills and you can be trained. You just have to decide what you want to do, and we'll help you figure out how to get it done.
well, eventually I have to go back and run the inn.
Do
No,
you?
you don't.
Yeah, it's been in my family for like a long time.
Well, I mean,
Is that-
if that's what you want, that's fine. But what I'm saying is that you have options.
You could hire a manager to run the tavern and it would still be you as the owner. But if that's not what you want to do, you don't have to do it.
Who's gonna work for me?
Someone who wants a job. First, we have to save the town.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you're not interested in working for Viessa and she wanted to send someone back to Ballinamard, maybe they could work for both of you.
Yeah.
I think I might be interested in talking about that. Maybe.
Okay.
And if you want to go out on a ship and see what it's like while all of this goes on, then I happen to know somebody who has a few.
Her dad.
Really? Huh.
We have connections. If you decide you want to do something, we can help you accomplish it. You deserve that much.
Why? I mean, all I did was run my inn and hide.
Everybody deserves to pursue the life they want.
Yeah.
I guess I never thought about it, because I was gonna run the family inn. I mean...
Yeah.
We all started out in life with certain expectations put upon us.
Yeah.
But that's not where we end up, necessarily. You make your own luck. And you can decide what you want to do.
Okay. Once I figure it out, for sure, I'll tell somebody.
Okay.
It's a lot to think about.
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
Didn't ever. I just ran the inn.
Mm-hmm.
That's my dad brought me up to know how to do it. And then when he wasn't there anymore, people still wanted food and they still wanted a place to drink. And so I just kept doing what my dad did.
Mm-hmm. And that's very admirable.
And if you like to cook but want to see the world, you can cook on a ship.
You can? Like
Yeah.
what I do back home? Mm-hmm. Everybody froze. That's,
Yes. You could cook on a ship.
That's definitely something to think about.
All right, well, just think about that, and we'll go see Viessa.
Okay.
All right, to Jojo's.
All right.
The Jojo's.
Well, you travel the rest of the way. You get there. It's probably about maybe between a half hour and an hour before the beginning of lunch rush. Really? Are we doing this again? As you enter, there are a few people at tables, and Jojo's behind the bar cooking, but turns around when the door opens, sees you, and gets this big grin on his face.
Well, look at what we've got here. Come on in. Come have a seat at the bar.
Okay.
That way we can chat while I work. Jilly is sick. So
Oh no.
yeah, she's got the cold. Usually happens right around this time. But she'll be all right. But so it's just me. So I've got to keep working while we chat. But what brings you back to town?
You know.
That good, huh?
Oh yeah.
And
It's-
who's your friend?
This is young Jas. He's
Hi.
from Ballinamard.
Really? Whew, that's a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Bet you it's still mighty cold up there, isn't it?
Yeah, at least it's warmer down here.
Ah, I suppose it would be for you, wouldn't it? Well, welcome to the Shouting Pirate. I'm Jojo. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I like this place.
Thanks. So do I.
Is Costas screwing with us or what?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
what I put in chat. Tell Sakuthos to stop it.
Like, dude, back off.
Leave us alone.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Is there any way that we could see Viessa?
Probably.
Is she here or?
No. She's probably down in her den of iniquity.
I look at Jazz. Den.
Oh, so not lair. Den.
Well, depends on what part of it she's in. Parts of it you could call a lair.
Ooh.
But where she spends most of her time is her own little private inn. Well, tavern. But she's probably nursing a cup of coffee with just a little bit of rum and trying to wake up.
Well then,
You could go on down. You know
Can
the
we
way.
go through the storeroom?
Aye. Of course.
well, I guess we should do that.
All right. Well,
We'll
and
come back.
good. If you're wanting lunch, I'm already getting ready. So I'd be pleased
Okay.
to make you food, and I think there's a certain friend of yours over on your table that'd be liking to see as well.
Yes. We love him.
We'll be back, Synchron.
You just see a sleepy eye half open, and then
We go in the storeroom, and when we're in there, look at Jazz. We're going through a secret entrance. That's why I use the word lair.
oh, wow. So her setup is connected to the. I guess it's good they're dating.
It's okay.
Well, he seems nice.
He's very nice.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely likes you guys. That's real clear. His whole face lit up when he saw it was you.
It's very mutual.
Yeah. I got a few people come into the barracks that definitely smile when I see them come in because, you know, going to be good stories and they're not going to be a problem.
Our adventuring days actually started here.
Really? Oh, was that a job board?
Yeah.
I met Zorith and her brother here. And then on one of our jobs, Tasha was assigned to us by the army. Zori's brother's gone off to do other things, and Gwen joined us, and Athgar, or Athgar then Gwen, but
Huh.
it all started here.
Wow. I'll have to ask Jojo how he finds out about the stuff he puts on the job board, because if we get things back to normal and I go back to running the barracks, maybe I should put up a jobs board.
That would be great.
Yeah? I mean, if there's jobs.
Well, if we can save the town.
Yeah.
When we save the town.
When we save the town.
You make your way down the ladder and into the tunnel. It's dark.
Go down. Keep going until we find something.
We're just gonna wander in the dark?
Mm-hmm. Well, hold on.
I don't have light. Do you have light?
I do. I cast light.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Oh, whew. Okay, that's a little better. At least I'm
Yeah.
not gonna trip over something.
Or someone.
Someone?
Sorry.
She's
Gallows humor.
messing with you a little. Teasing.
Okay. Make your way down the tunnel. It takes about 5 minutes or so to get down into her complex. But you get down there and you see a couple guards standing near the entrance to her halls. And they both kind of look at you funny, and then they both relax. One of them says,
You looking for the boss?
Yes, please.
She's in the tavern.
Head that way.
okay. You make your way to the door. It's not completely closed. It's a little bit ajar. Not really any noise coming from in there. Although you do see light.
Push it open.
Okay. There's candles burning on a couple of the tables. There's a couple lanterns over the bar that are lit, and there's one person sitting like this at the bar.
Is it Viessa?
Yeah.
Which one is it I do to get rid of?
If this isn't something crucial, I'm going to cut out your spleen.
Is it lesser restoration I use on the...
Yeah.
I put my hand on her shoulder and cast that.
Hello, Aribell. What an unexpected pleasure.
Good morning, Viessa.
Yeah, it's a little better now. Whew.
We are sorry to bother you, but it is kind of important.
She spins around and gets her first look at Jas and goes, You?
His son.
I'm Jas, ma'am. My dad died. I'm very sorry to hear that. Your father was a good man and someone that I called friend. I'm sorry to hear of his passing. But I'm glad to meet you, Jas, is it? Yes, ma'am. You can just call me Viessa. We don't stand on formality, especially not at this ungodly hour of the morning.
Before we fill you in, is it all right if I cast a spell to check and make sure you aren't under the influence of anyone? It'll make sense after.
All right. I wouldn't let anyone else do this, you know. At least not without finding out what it was first.
I appreciate your trust. And I'll cast Detect Anomaly.
Okay. No results. No detected altered memories.
Things are bad in Ballinamard.
Oh.
Really,
Very.
really bad.
So
All right. wait a moment. She walks over to the door, sticks her head out, yells for someone. You hear mumbled conversation for a moment, and then she closes the door and walks over and drops down a thick wooden crossbar, and then walks to the back of the room, pulls back a curtain, revealing another door, and she drops a large wooden crossbar down on that one as well, and then says, "All right, that's about as secure as I can make it. Something to drink?"
Yes, please.
What would you like? I've got bourbon, I've got rum, I've got wine. Probably wine, it's still early.
Wine.
Okay, thank you.
She goes behind the bar and grabs a bottle and comes out holding 4 glasses and wanders over to one of the tables and sits it down and uncorks the bottle and pours a glass about 3/4 full and passes it to Tasha, pours another glass, sits it in front of Jas, pours another glass, sits it in front of herself, and looks at Aribell and says, "Are you sure?"
I'm all right, thank
It's
you.
a wonderful breakfast bouquet. And sits it down. All right. She takes a big drink, sits it down. Tell me about Ballinamard.
The whole town has been infected by the Thuilnu.
The who?
Oh.
Creatures that destroyed, conquered Tathtoxun are responsible for the horrors.
They're back. They're real?
Yes, they're real.
Oh, yeah.
We knew that, but they have powers that allow them to infiltrate the minds of others, alter their thoughts. So
That's what you were checking for.
Mhm.
How would one know?
one wouldn't.
That's unsettling.
Mm-hmm.
Jas is extremely strong-willed and managed to resist it,
Really?
but has been surrounded by those who have not.
And tell me, young man, how did you resist it? I just kept filling my mind with the same pieces of information, and I would just constantly repeat it over and over to myself, and I guess that's how it worked. I don't know.
The Thuilnu are strongest at night, and they can't handle sunlight.
Oh, well, that's something. Of course, I do my best work at night, too. I don't like people crowding on my territory.
Indeed.
So, we are going to be heading back up there with a unit to try and find them. It's our understanding that they nest underground.
I'm familiar with that.
We're going to look for the nest in Ballinamard and try and stop it. But what we were hoping is that through your network you could check and see if there's signs under other large cities across Aecathan. If this is a test to see how easy it is for them to take over the country.
This can be done. What exactly am I looking for? Well,
Seen it
if
yet.
anything that looks like it's a nightmare for real and it's white, that's the things that I guess they make. They make.
Yes, they create horrors, monstrosities. We've fought several of them. Weird things.
Wait. Some months ago, many months ago, that sage, Appleby,
Yes.
was talking about some creature that he was trying to dissect,
Yes.
and it dissolved in sunlight.
Yes.
This is the same.
Yes.
Yes, Zorith Airman, and I found that underneath the city.
That's
In the tunnels. And I tell her where we found that. Because that was under Megan's place. Because maybe they were starting.
So, down in the sewers proper.
That's where that was.
Well, I assume that's probably a good place to begin looking. But if I send people and they encounter these creatures and then their minds are altered, how will I know?
There's a spell.
There's a couple of spells. One that gives resistance to it. It works once a day. That I think any magic user can do. It's only of 2nd rank. So we could probably arrange for that. The spell I used on you is a little more challenging, but I think I can do it, bards can do it, Gwen can do it, so rangers, if you have anybody that you trust, we can arrange for those to be taught.
If you can cast these, Aribell, then I'm assuming that the priests can also cast similar spells.
Yes.
I have a priest of Costus who works for me. I will inform her and have her do whatever it is she does in communing with her lord to see about obtaining these spells.
I'm sure he can provide them to her. I'll write down on a piece of paper the spells.
Okay.
Detect Anomaly, Reverse Anomaly, and Dream Sentinel are probably the best 3.
Mm-hmm.
And have her tell Costas hello for us.
Yes, I'm sure she'll do that. And so, what you need is for checks to be made beneath all of the communities?
I'll probably start here.
But yeah, we need to know how far it's gotten.
We're arranging similar protection spells for all of the leaders. But please make sure that you're protected.
And Jojo. Of course.
I'll make certain that happens. Have no doubt.
I don't.
But
Well, I can see
just
that
as valuable in a different way then.
my bards are going to get quite a workout.
Mm-hmm.
And my priest. Who may even have to bring in some outside help. Well, I'll get it moving. Who should I contact if I find something?
Can you have a message sent to us?
Yes.
Please
That
do.
should-
Are you staying in the city?
No, we're headed to Ballinamard to clean out the nest.
Oh.
I know. We get all the fun jobs.
We
Well,
did.
if you're going to be doing that, then I should probably contact someone local.
Warbender.
Ah, the good general.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That can be arranged.
Jas here has proven to be very helpful. He's making a decision about what he wants to do with his life, but we had two ideas.
I'm
Given
listening.
given his mental strength, if he does decide to go back to Ballinamard, he might be a useful replacement for his father with you.
And is that something you might be interested in, young man? Well, maybe. I don't know what exactly my dad did for you, so I don't know what you would want me to do. It's not difficult. And it's seldom dangerous.
The other consideration is he's very interested in what sailing might be like.
Oh, wet and cold and cramped.
And amazing and beautiful.
And wet and cold and cramped.
Jojo was actually a sailor, so maybe he could give you a perspective on that.
Oh, dear gods.
But if he decides to go that route, he might need a manager for the barracks. And perhaps you could help find someone to do that job. Not that I'm trying to tell you how to run your business, of course. Just
No. That's actually... And please don't take offense at this, Aribell, but surprisingly cunning thinking coming from one such as you.
She is
nice,
a little cunning.
People don't expect it from me.
I wonder why. Well, either of those could definitely be arranged, but I suspect, young man, that you and I should have a discussion. Just the two of us. And I can explain what the responsibilities of the position are and what the pay is. Wait, pay? Oh, of course. No one works for me for free. Well,
It's
unless they
true.
love me.
Or they don't want to take your money.
Like I said, unless they love me.
Oh boy.
As long as you also give him equal opportunity to talk to Jojo.
Of course, I'll return him to the pirate as soon as we're done talking, if now works for you. I think so. I don't have to be any place until tonight, right?
Yes.
And he'll be staying here while we take care of things in Ballinamard, so it doesn't have to be a one-time conversation if he has more questions.
Oh, well, then likely you'll need someone to show you around. Someone to take you to the fun places. Where are you staying at the moment?
Gwen's Manor.
Oh, well, then that works out perfectly. I'll just ask Girta to do it.
Oh, Jesus.
The Gwen's maid, Girta? Yes, I see. A discerning eye as well as a strong mind. All right. That won't be a problem, will it, Jazz? No, ma'am. Viessa. No, Viessa, ma'am. It's going to be one of those, is it? Well, that's fine. I'll just put on my training boots.
We will leave him in your capable hands.
Be gentle.
I'll bring him
Please.
back completely unharmed, I promise.
I don't doubt that he'll be unharmed physically.
What do you mean physically?
I just think she might open your mind to things that maybe you're not ready for.
Or maybe you are ready for them and you just don't know. We'll find out. This is safe for me to stay here with her?
Yes.
As much as it pains me to say it, yes.
Just remember, you can say no.
Even if she doesn't tell you that, you have free will.
Of course. I'm
She's
just betting you won't want to.
very persuasive.
Well,
We'll
I
let
didn't
you know what you want him to tell you.
I didn't get to where I am today by taking no easily. Maybe I should go back with you.
Okay.
Don't be scared. I promise it won't hurt at all. And
She's not lying.
You may even leave here richer if we come to an agreement. I'm not above paying in advance. But I'm not gonna be going back for a while, maybe ever. Well, that's one of the things we'll have to talk about now, isn't it? Okay, I'm really not sure about this.
Maybe he should start with Jojo Viessa so he's a little more comfortable.
Fine, I should probably eat something for breakfast anyway. I'll walk back to the pirate with you.
Okay.
Maybe if you're there, that infernal feline will let me sit at that table.
Synchron has very discerning, or has a very unique ability to judge character, Viessa.
Synchron is a royal pain in my arse.
Oh, I'm glad you're using royal, because he does prefer to be called Lord Synchron.
You're serious?
Very.
He and Gwen have conversations very often.
He's a cat.
Is he?
Why? What do you think he is?
I have no idea what
Is
he
this
is.
something that I should be warning Jojo about?
No,
I think
Jojo
JoJo's
knows.
well aware. I don't know what he is, but I don't think he's only a cat. Had you not considered that?
He's an angry, ornery, spitting, clawing feline.
But yet, he let us sit there. And no one else.
I considered it a character defect.
Okay.
Well, maybe I have something else that my bards and my priest can look into. Now you've got me curious.
Well, please let us know because we haven't been able to figure it out.
And be careful.
Well, it won't be me casting the spells. If anyone gets clawed, it'll be them.
I don't know about casting spells on Synchron.
How else am I going to find out anything?
Well, you're discerning.
It's
Observe.
a cat. It
Then-
behaves like a cat.
Then he's just a cat.
I'll find out.
You know that if any harm comes to Synchron, Jojo will never forgive you.
I'm not going to hurt the cat.
Right.
I know that Jojo dotes on that stupid thing.
And that he doesn't like you very much. Synchron.
Oh. I'm wounded. A cat doesn't like me. I think I'll live.
All right.
I climb the ladder.
All right. You know, she unbars the door and stops to briefly talk with her guards.
Tasha, do you want to see if the others want to join us for lunch here?
I'll send them a message.
Okay. Who are you sending it to?
Gwen.
Okay. So, Gwen, I assume you've been in your study
I am.
working on stuff. Okay.
Would you like to meet us at Jojo's for lunch?
Yes, shall I gather Athgar as well? And Zori?
Yes.
So you're casting a second sending spell just to say yes.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so I will go find Athgar and Zori.
Where
I
is
will come
Zori?
with you. Just in her room.
Okay.
I will come with you.
You find Athgar in the war room. And it looks like he's sketching something.
Are you available to join us for lunch?
Oh. Certainly.
We're going to Jojo's to meet the others.
Oh. I'm definitely available.
Very well, let's go.
We head on out.
Okay. Aribell, Tasha, Jas, Viessa arrive up in Jojo's just minutes before the lunch rush starts. And Viessa looks around. Joe, where is Jalea?
She's got the crud. So she's not going to be here today.
I can help.
Well, certainly someone needs to. I can if necessary.
Well, I wouldn't say no to a little bit of assistance, at least getting the food to the tables.
Yeah, so you haven't eaten yet. Why don't you sit down and I can help?
Will you have time to make me food?
Always. Everybody else can wait.
I do love a man who cooks. Just a couple minutes later is when the rest of the group arrives. It's a little crowded getting in because your arrival coincides with the beginning of the lunch crowd. So it actually takes half a minute to get in the door. But once you do, you see Tasha and Viessa and Jas sitting at your table. And Jas is, like, just kind of stroking Synchron's nose just a little bit. And the cat's just kind of sitting there with this look that suggests that it's not entirely certain, but still making up his mind.
Brilliant. Let's do lunch.
We used to have a cat at the barracks. Kirka. Wouldn't mind having another cat.
They are wonderful.
Yeah. So,
We're gonna eat lunch. We're
Yep.
gonna do the things. We'll help Jojo.
okay. All right. It's a busy couple of hours. There are ships in port, so there are lots of crew that are here to eat and drink. So it gets noisy, a little boisterous, but nothing out of hand. Although there is one guy who mistakenly tries to squat Aribell on the butt.
I was going to ask if anybody got handsy.
Yeah, just one tried. And when Aribell caught his hand and
just
twisted
squeezed
his
it.
wrist,
Gently, gently.
Gently.
his eyes got real big and his friends at the table started to laugh really hard.
That's not how we treat ladies, is it?
Ow. Guess not.
Give him his hand back.
Shut up.
She scratches Synchron as she goes from there, just so that he knows that she's allowed to touch that cat.
And
All I can say is if I saw that, at least when I bait Athgar, it's in good humor.
well, I'm sure you think so.
You don't?
There are so many different meanings to the word good. I'm sure one of them is appropriate. I just don't know which one.
I guess it's not with ill intent. How's that? I can at least speak to the intent, if not how it happens to land.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
You have to. There's no one else's you can take.
Well, I could ask for divine verification.
Feel free.
Really?
I'm an open book, Athgar.
All
Wow.
right. He pulls his lute from around the back and reaches into a pouch, pulls out an incense stack, sits it down, takes the candle from the table and lights it, sits it back, and then reaches into another pouch and pulls out 4 strips of ivory, which he sits into sockets on either side of the neck of his lute. And then he looks at you and begins to play. He plays for about 10 minutes, and then on the final chord, the incense goes, and the 4 strips of ivory sink into the lute and vanish. And he just stops and stares.
What happened? Are you okay?
He just continues to sit and stare.
And we're all here for this?
Yeah.
Apparently he's in the middle of some kind of spell.
Should we be worried about this?
No.
No, probably not.
Tasha,
Yes.
make an Arcana check. Zori, you can try as well, but yours will be a higher difficulty.
23.
Oh, plus 7. 19.
Okay. Yeah, Zorith, you're not entirely sure. I mean, it's clear he cast a spell because you watched the material components get consumed.
Right. Exactly.
But you're not entirely sure what it is. Tasha, he just cast a legend lore spell on Gwen.
That's interesting.
And right now, he is basically receiving all of the information that the spell grants him. And just processing it. After about a minute, he closes his eyes and lowers his head a little bit.
Welcome back.
Well, that was interesting.
I can't believe that you went to all that effort. I told you I was an open book.
Yes.
And
See?
what did you read?
Things that I was not originally present to see.
You know my story.
Yes, but I wasn't there.
Now you have been.
You take after your mother.
I wouldn't know.
I do.
How can you remember things that I don't remember?
I saw them. With you. As an infant.
Bizarre. How do I take after her?
From what I saw, you have her eyes. And you have that same... I don't know the word.
Mischievous?
That will do. Grin. She had that same smile.
That's cool. I wish I could remember it.
He makes just a quick little riff on the lute, and an image appears, a bust appears on the table. And it's a woman who looks vaguely familiar. Her hair is darker, her face is a bit more angular, but the eyes are similar, the mouth is similar, and it's a still image, but it just sort of hangs there for a moment.
Is that her?
That is the image that I saw, yes.
Wow. I wish I could hold that moment in time. That's amazing.
And the image fades and he does the riff again, and you see another image appear. A young man, kind of plain of feature, but strong of jaw, and you recognize the nose. Clearly you got your nose from your father.
Oh, wow.
This is the man who was with her.
That's amazing. If I learned how to cast that spell, could I see them too?
I think it's a bard spell.
It is, and one of exceptionally high rank.
Well, I can't believe you used it for this purpose.
You gave me permission.
I didn't think you would do that. But now's not the time, I'm sure. But at some point, I would love to know what you know of them.
Not much beyond what I saw.
My grandfather didn't provide a lot of details.
They were in the desert. They were horseback, riding side by side. They both seemed at ease. You were crying, but neither of them seemed concerned, so I assume it was just an infant crying, as infants do. It was just a brief image, just a moment in time that I was able to see.
That's still more than I've ever had, so what a gift. Thank you.
You're welcome. I had no idea what the results would be.
That's a pretty great result.
I'm glad you think so.
Is that all that you read?
And that's all that I'm going to speak about now.
If there's anything else about my family, I definitely want to hear it.
The rest were from later periods in time.
I'm not surprised. I had so little time with them. Well, anyway, we have much more important things to talk about.
Well, when Jojo's done. I assume that we're here to speak with him, since Viessa is there. He's gonna tell me about being on a ship. Oh. I'm surprised you didn't ask Aribell or Tasha. They've been aboard a ship. They've sailed. Really? They didn't say anything.
One thing I'll mention, I've only spent a very little time on a ship, but it agrees with some people more than others. Have you ever spent time on a ship?
Well, I've been out on, like, the fishing sloops.
Well, before you make a career decision, you might want to spend at least a day, just to make sure that it's something that agrees with you.
How does it not agree with people?
I think some people get quite ill being on a ship.
Like, sick? Like, with a cold?
Like hanging over the rail, throwing up your breakfast sick.
Oh, I've heard about that.
It's not something we experience much in the desert, but I've heard that there are some who have that reaction. I felt very fortunate that I didn't.
Got it. Okay. Well, I'll keep that in mind, too. So much to think about. I told you, cold, cramped, and wet.
And sometimes sick.
Yeah, not sounding quite like I thought it would. But I still want to talk to him. Of course. And as Jojo finishes dealing with the last of the lunch rush, that's a good place to take a break. And we'll come back and have that conversation and see what else happens afterwards. So we'll be back in 15. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back. Jojo finishes setting things to the side and with a towel draped over his shoulder and his apron a little bit stained, comes over and grabs a chair from another table, flips it around as he usually does, and sits down.
Well, I appreciate the help. That would have been a lot worse. I forgot there were 2 ships in port.
Oh dear.
Right. So, I see you found Viessa.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not that I mind, but what are you hanging around for?
Young Jas would like to know more about being a sailor.
Really? Thinking of getting your sea legs, are you, lad?
I guess.
Have you ever been on a ship?
I've been on fishing sloops.
How big is a fishing sloop?
I think the biggest one I went out on is about maybe 20 feet long.
Ah, you've been out on boats. You never been out on a ship.
How big does it have to be a ship?
You seen the ones out in the harbor?
The big ones?
Aye,
Yeah.
those are ships. So what is it that you want to know?
I was just thinking that it would be fun to go out on one. And Aribell was saying that if I wanted to be like a cook on a ship, I could do that, because I cook up in Ballinamard. I run the barracks.
Barracks. Aye, heard of that place. You're a little young, aren't you?
I took over for my dad.
Oh, I see. And already getting tired of it, are you?
Well, no, not really. Just I
Taking a break from it.
I didn't realize that I could do other things, but Viessa said that maybe if I made a deal with her, she could have someone go and run the barracks for a while, and I could go and do something else.
Really?
Jas's father, worked for me part-time up in Ballinamard, and we're discussing whether Jas might be interested in assuming his father's old job, and either now or after a stint on the water. But I was telling him that shipboard life is cold and cramped and wet. And Gwenlaren pointed out that there's also a decent opportunity to be sick.
Aha. But I'm betting that you're wanting to hear from someone who's actually been out and done it for a long time.
Well, yeah.
Well, to be fair, what they're telling you, cold and cramped and wet and sick, sometimes it is like that. But other times, there's a beauty to be had out there that you're never gonna find on any form ashore. Watching the sun come up over the ocean. Nothing but the waves and the wind around you for miles, as far as the eye can see. The sound of the birds in the air, and the waves lapping against the hull. And occasionally the sounds of whale song.
Whale song?
Aye, you know what whales are.
Well, sure. I've seen him from the fishing sloops and from the piers.
Once you get far enough out in the ocean, they swim in packs. Whole great big groups of them. And they sing. It's a sound unlike anything you've ever heard. Mysterious and eerie. And beautiful and strange.
Why do they sing?
Who knows? Why does any creature sing? Why does this one sing? Why does that one sing?
He points at Athgar and points at Tasha.
Because we must.
And I suspect that's probably why the whales sing too. Just another form of expression. Whales actually be pretty smart creatures. They understand when someone's hunting them, but they also understand when someone might be trying to help them. Found a young whale once, trapped in a net from another ship. It swam away, but was still tangled in the net and couldn't find its way out. A couple people from my crew dove in, got their knives out and cut the poor creature out of the net. And damned if that creature didn't dance afterwards. Leaping out of the water, twisting in midair and coming back down, huge splashes. Definitely displaying joy. And if a creature's capable of experiencing joy, there's got to be some intelligence there.
I think that's... You'll have to experience it, Jess. I don't think Jojo's description or Viessa's. There's people that do it for the money, but the people that stay, there's just something about it that'll speak to you if it's what you're meant to do.
Aye, she's absolutely right. I've known those who've gone out and they do it for a job, and then there's those that go out and do it because they've fallen in love with the sea. That's what took me out originally. I grew up here on land, but my first glimpse of the ocean, something stirred in me, and I immediately felt like I needed to be out there. Drove my family away, going out there. Fortunately, that's been settled and all is well. But for a time, I chose the ocean over my family. It's not a decision that I regret, because I fell in love with the sea. I'd still be out there if me bones had let me.
Whatever it is that made you stop and look over that bridge in awe, you should see if it's for you.
It was... Well, but it wasn't the sea. I've seen the sea. Ballinamard's on the coast. I mean, we grew up on the sea. But it was the ships.
Well, that's interesting. Well, you should probably try it.
Like I said, I'm happy to arrange a couple-day trip for you, or longer. See how you like it.
Aye, there's a good idea. Take a taste of it. See if it settles with you.
And if it's the ships and not the ocean, there's ways to work on the ships from land. Building them, fixing them.
I don't know anything about that.
Huh. You could learn. I bet you at one point you didn't know anything about running an inn.
Well, maybe. I kind of started learning it, like, my whole life.
Aye, but when you was a babe, you didn't know.
I don't know. Hear my dad tell it.
Parents exaggerate.
We'll arrange for you to take a trip and see what you think, and you can go from there. You don't have to decide today.
And when you get back from the trip and you're wet and cold and miserable, I will have something for you to drink, and we can discuss something that will keep you much warmer and much, much better paid.
Well, much better paid. If he's going to be in Ballinamard, I don't know how much warmer he'll be.
I'm sure they've got fireplaces. Oh, yeah. 2 big ones. See?
But he's the one who has to keep them going to stay warm. He doesn't have people to do that like you do, yes.
Well, that can be changed, too. Okay. I would like to try going out on the ship. So, how do I do that?
I will make the arrangements.
And I'll tell you what to expect. I've got some time. If you're interested in hearing some stories, you might be interested in telling them.
I'm definitely interested in hearing stories. That's my favorite part about running an inn, is when people come in with good stories. Well, I can't promise you they'll be good.
Hey, all me stories are good.
The first time you hear them, maybe.
Wow.
After the 5th telling, they do become a bit wearing.
Well, you don't have to stay and listen to them again if you don't want to.
I know.
I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to come and visit with Jojo while we're gone.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you talking with me, and Viessa, ma'am, I appreciate your offer and what you told me, and I will think about it, but I even if it's just a one-time thing, I really want to go out on a ship. Well, you know how to get a hold of me. If I'm not here, Jojo will know where to find me and how to contact me, as will your friends. I should get back to work. I have an expedition or 9 to arrange.
Thank you, Viessa, ma'am.
Don't start.
Thank
Just
you,
respecting
Viessa.
my elders.
Again, at least my intent is pure. Did you see that much at least?
We're not talking about that right now.
It's a yes or no question.
Nope.
Nothing is as simple as a yes or no question with that spell.
I'll have to take your word for it.
Always a pleasure, Viessa.
Mm-hmm. Catty paladins. What is the world coming to?
It just means that she's comfortable with you.
Perish the thought. I'm going to have to go do something dastardly now, just to reset the scales.
I expect nothing less.
Excellent. All right, dear. I will see you this evening.
Right. Go do whatever it is you're gonna do. Don't need to know.
That's my boy. Pats him on the cheek, leans over, kisses him on the top of the head, and walks into the back room.
There's no need to be making faces.
As long as you're happy, Jojo.
It's never dull. I will say that. Well,
That is true.
young Jas, know that you're welcome here anytime. Stories or a drink, food. You know where we're at now. It's not difficult to get here from Gwen Lauren's place. And, at least when you come during the day, the streets are pretty safe. So if you're gonna come at night, you might want to come with someone else. Not saying anything's gonna happen, but just in case.
Okay, I probably won't come at night. I'm not real comfortable being outside at night right now. It's probably gonna be a while before I am.
All right. Well, whatever you wish. I don't judge, I just serve the food. And, so what are the rest of you for? You're gonna be in town long? Or you heading back out for something again?
Probably out, adventuring.
Yup. Well, if you need anything from me, you know you've only got to ask.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
All right. Gonna go start cleaning up after lunch.
I hand Jojo a sack of coins. Will you give this to Julia?
Why? Why, did you owe her money?
No, it's tips. I don't need it, and I don't want her to be without because she was sick.
Well, I wouldn't let her go without, but
I don't know, but
she'll appreciate this. I'll make certain that she knows it's from you.
I just want her to have it. It's not about me.
All right. I'll see that she gets it.
Thanks, Jojo.
All right. Well, stay as long as you like, obviously, but I've got to go clean.
We should go.
Vines should be coming soon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we head back to the manor, I'm guessing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you want to stay, Jess, and talk to Jojo, or did you want to come back with us?
I think if it's okay, I'll come back with you. I got a lot to think about.
You do.
Of course.
So he follows you out the door and through the streets back to the manor. After you return, it's only about another 45 minutes or so before Tosk comes into Gwen wherever you are. There is a Corporal Cherrier at the door.
Yes, he's going to be joining our party.
Ah. Excellent.
If it's not too much trouble, is there a room that would be able to be made ready for him?
Hold on a
I've
moment.
got mine if we need to. I can always go stay at my parents'.
Or you can stay with me.
Could always get the mansion.
Yeah.
We may be becoming a bit crowded. And Athgar says, well, that's no problem. I was going to work on my space this evening anyway. You may put him in the room that I was sleeping in.
All right.
And I would assume that we need to, I assume that we might have our healer coming. Did we need to ask Indrus about a wizard, or did we ask Obras about that? We need to ask Indrus, right?
Indrus actually was going to recommend someone.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He was going to recommend someone, and the High Curate said that she had an idea for a cleric to send.
Talked about the wizard after they left, so as long as that's all good.
Yep.
So they could come tonight.
Yeah, it's possible.
So, if necessary, I can share with Zori, or Tasha can cast the mansion, or I can go across town. Doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. Are you all together
Yes.
at this point? Okay. Tosk returns, opens the door, and Vines walks in.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you. This is a very nice place.
Thank you.
Definitely coming up in the world.
I feel very, very lucky to be its current caretaker.
So, is it something I can ask about? Or is it something that I should wait?
Well, we definitely want to bring you up to speed.
I'm curious what part of Aecathan needs saving this time.
Well, immediately, Ballinamard.
But let me take your things. We'll get you settled in. We'll get them settled into your room, get you a drink, and she can tell you the whole story.
I would definitely not say no to a drink. That spell is very effective, but it does leave one parched.
What would you like?
Just water or fruit juice, perhaps?
Have you had anything to eat lately?
I ate before I left, yes.
Okay. So I'll ask for water and also some cider.
Okay.
And I'll get this crew their usuals.
All right. So he sits down and basically just chugs the water.
I'm gonna look at Aribell or Gwenlauren, and I'm gonna say, there's a spell, right? We have to do the spell
Spell?
to check the.
Yes, I will cast on. First, I will ask him, because I learned this the hard way. We need to verify that your memories are unaltered. I have a spell that will verify that. Might I cast it on you?
Of course. If they're altered, I'd like to know too.
I cast Detect Anomaly.
Okay. You do not detect any changes in Vines' memory?
Your memories seem unaffected, unaltered.
I thought so. So it's good to know that's true. I didn't realize that was a possibility.
Well, that's what we're here to tell you about.
I'm all ears.
I'll leave that to the bard. Well, one of them. Whichever of you'd like to tell the story, you're the storytellers.
I tell him all about Ballinamard, the orcs, the Thuilnu, and the fate of the town.
I see.
Then I tell him what Mother Tassa said and what our vague plan is.
Well, that's disturbing. On many levels.
Mm-hmm.
You actually had a civilized conversation with orcs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that... Had I been there, that would have gone that way. It does raise a certain ire in me.
Well, it's possible we'll be fighting orcs.
And the horrors.
Yo, definitely those.
Once the spell are undone, who knows what's going to happen.
Is it something that they have to concentrate on to maintain? Or is it just like building a wall? Once it's built, it's there?
We don't
We
know
don't
that
know.
much about their abilities. We know it involves memories being changed. So if it's similar to a memory spell, I think it would stay until it's undone. But I don't know that much about memory spells.
Zoreth, if you would, make an Arcana check.
Yes. Ooh, 17 plus... I was looking up that legend lore spell. 17 plus 7, 24.
All right. You are familiar with this particular spell, at least theoretically.
Okay.
You are aware that there is a spell that can attempt to reshape the memories of another creature. If it succeeds, there are certain limitations. It has to be something that's happened within the last 24 hours. It can't be anything longer than 10 minutes. But within those parameters, the spell can permanently change a creature's perception of an event.
And I tell everybody that.
Oh, that's crazy.
So all they would need to know is that the orcs are part of their situation and everything is hunky-dory.
Okay.
Yeah. We are not fighting with the orcs. They are peaceful and... Boy.
Yeah.
Well, I can definitely see why that's troubling. And so, this gentleman here, you've managed to somehow
somehow keep them from changing your memories? I don't know really, honestly, if it was something I did, but I just kept repeating the same thing over and over in my head. Over and over and over and over for hours and hours and hours, and I sometimes wonder if I didn't go a little mad, because it got to the point where I couldn't think about anything else. It was sort of like locked in that cycle of mental chanting, I guess. But I don't know. I think it worked.
Well, you're still here.
You did better than everyone else.
It does appear that you did. However, you were able to do it. You at least were able to keep your mind your own. That's no small feat, however it happened. I'm just really glad that somebody knows now and that you're gonna try and help. I thought I was gonna have to live like that forever. Well, I imagine if something can be done, this is the group to do it. They've done some rather remarkable things. Their reputation is well earned. That's why when they asked if I could help, there was no hesitation. I'm always happy to help this group.
We appreciate it.
There is a popping sound. And standing just a little ways away from where you are, you see Obras standing next to a halfling.
That's unusual.
Hello.
Greetings.
Hello. I thought perhaps that I might come a little earlier even than we had planned, just in case.
All right.
I wanted to make certain that there was time for questions, and, oh, yes, I have, brought you, assistance. Yes.
I think you're muted.
You are. You're muted.
We like assistance.
Well, go on, introduce yourself.
Oh. All right. Well, pleased to meet you. I'm known as Arbogast Claynanger, but you can just call me Bo. And, Master Obras here said that the Four was actually looking for a wizard.
That we are.
Well,
It's true.
congratulations. You got one.
Well,
Did Master Obras tell you what we're about to do?
Nope. But there was a wee bit of a tussle when he let it be known that the Four was looking for a wizard to help him. Fortunately, I'm quick. While everybody
know.
else was
pushing and shoving, I just kind of scampered through their legs and got to Master Obras here and said, I'll go. And
Excellent.
I think they was still pushing and shoving when we walked out. That was funny.
Oh my.
So
We're
what does
delighted to have you. I'm Aribell.
I'm familiar with at least the four of you. I don't know that gentleman and I don't know that gentleman. But I
That's
know
Athgar,
all of you.
and that's
Hello?
Vines.
How do you do?
Jas is here, right? Too somewhere, right?
Did he go up to think? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is Jas.
No, that's true. He probably would be up in his room, so he
Okay.
wouldn't be there.
So please describe Bo to us.
Yes.
Let's see.
Male or female? I can't tell from the.
Male.
Okay.
Let me pull this up here. Okay.
I always forget how tiny halflings are.
Yep.
They're wee.
Male
They're very
halfling, fair skin, dark blonde hair, blue eyes. It's about few inches over 3 feet. He's dressed in a series, a couple layers of robes. One of them, the outer layer, is sleeveless. He's also wearing a cloak. He clearly has a light crossbow hanging from his left hip and a dagger sheathed on his right. Let's see, what else would you be able to see? He is wearing thick bracers around his wrists. And he has a rather interesting looking necklace around his neck.
What kind of necklace?
Yeah.
Let's see. I misspelled it. That's why I couldn't find it. It looks pretty much like a solid band of gold that tapers down to points on either side of his Adam's apple, and there are what look to be charms hanging off the ends of both of the points.
How many charms?
2 on each side.
Okay. Excellent.
Now that I am here, though, I don't suppose somebody might tell me why I'm here?
Could say the Aecathan, of course.
Well, of course. If the four are involved, of course it's going to be saving Aecathan, but might he be providing a little more information than that?
I fill him in.
Hold on.
Oh.
We didn't test him yet.
Oh, I wait.
Oh! Master Obras, you didn't tell me there was a test. I didn't study.
It's not that kind of test.
Did you test him, Master Obras?
Oh, no, I didn't think of it. But I didn't tell him anything.
Okay.
But
So
I certainly can, if you wish.
one of the things we need to know before we go any further with you is whether your memories have been altered in any way. So would it be acceptable to you if we checked to see if your memories have been altered through the casting of a spell?
What a horrible thought!
Who's gonna be screwing with my memories?
We'll
Well,
get to
we
that
hope no
after
one.
we make sure that you're.
Please, find out.
I cast Detect Anomaly.
Okay. You do not detect any modifications to his memories.
His memories seem intact.
Oh, thank the maker.
Now.
Now,
Yay.
I fill him in. I tell him about the Thuilnu and the orcs and Ballinamard and the horrors and what our plan is, such as it is.
He nods as he's listening, just sort of absorbing everything you're telling him. All right. So, the Thuilnu have returned.
Mm-hmm.
They've taken over Ballinamard.
Mm-hmm.
There's orcs living with people. That's damned unnatural.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna go and find their little caves and kill them all.
Yes.
Glad to be here.
Glad to have you.
All right, let's see. So, creatures living underground. They're all white.
They don't like
They
sunlight.
don't like the light. All right, I'm starting to put together a list of my spells.
Mm.
Try to come up with the ones that'll be the most use. Anything that's got a big flash.
Mm-hmm. And we'll be meeting with Mother Tassa, the High Curate,
Not Mother Tassa, Tassa Pranatiel.
Tassa Pranatiel.
Actually, the High Enchanter won't be joining us this evening.
That's fine.
Yes, I'm actually happier. You didn't hear that.
Hear what, Master? Not a word.
I'm gonna like you. And Warbender.
All right, let me. Tassa Pranatiel is the speaker of dragons. We'll get to that in a moment. And General Warbender is Tasha's commanding officer. He's the head of the intelligence unit for the Aecathan army.
So I'm going to be meeting a dragon and a spy.
Uh-huh.
Essentially.
Well, you've already met one spy. And you've already met, technically,
4.
4 dragons.
No, don't confuse him.
Too late.
They're putting me on now, aren't they?
Nope.
Well, no, they're just not explaining it very well.
Yeah, no.
We...
Don't need to go into all that, really. It's not important for this.
It's a long story.
It's literally not.
Do I need to know in order to kill the white things?
Nope.
Nope.
All right then.
Okay.
If you see fit to tell me, I'll absolutely listen. But
Someday, when we have a whole night to drink, I will tell you all about it.
all right.
Yep.
Well, you did ask if I could bring you up to speed on what we've learned of Noctomancy
Please.
and what's available. I do not know, for those of you who get your spells from your deities, which of these might be available. But I will tell you what we have learned so far. Starting at the most basic, there is a cantrip that the translation is essentially detect intrusion. And it allows you to see if someone is currently having their memories intruded upon.
Okay.
It does not tell past intrusions. It only detects a current presence.
Okay.
There is a first rank spell called Dream Recall that allows the recipient to clearly remember all of their dreams during a previous long rest or meditation. This, I'm sure, can be useful for comparing notes, determining what, if any, intrusions happened. What I have been able to suss out is that there can be intrusions, but there can be resistance to any attempts to modify or remove memories. If that is the case, this would allow someone to remember that someone had tried in their dreams. There is a spell at second rank called Active Dreaming, which allows the recipient lucid dreaming, to be consciously aware during their dreams.
What's that one called again?
Active dreaming.
Okay.
There is, I believe, one you're already familiar with, the Dream Sentinel.
Okay.
There is a third rank spell that allows you to fortify someone's dreams, giving them added ability to resist intrusion, to resist modification. I do believe you also know both the detect and reverse anomaly spells. I believe you've mentioned those. There is a 5th rank spell that will restore a lost memory. So if it can be ascertained that someone's memory has been removed, not altered, but removed, it can be restored through the use of that particular spell.
Okay.
There is a 6th rank spell that will reveal the presence of an intruder and actually point them out, so that someone becomes immediately aware of the intruder and how the intruder appears in that particular person's dream at that time.
Ooh.
This next spell suggests something that we don't quite fully understand, It speaks of something called Alarux.
Gesundheit.
It-
How do you spell that?
Alarux.
Allarux.
And it is a spell that the translation is essentially heal dream spirit.
Ooh.
And it restores lost Alarux. But we don't yet quite understand what Alarux is. And unfortunately, that's not the worst that we don't understand. There's the 8th rank spell
Okay.
translates to reconnect consciousness,
Oh god.
which would suggest that there is the ability to disconnect consciousness. Otherwise, why would one need to reconnect it?
Indeed.
Apparently, based on what this spell does, someone's consciousness can be severed from their corporeal form.
Oh, that's bad.
I'd like to say that's as bad as it gets.
Oh, fantastic.
But the 9th rank spell suggests that there's something even worse. The 9th rank spell translates to recreate consciousness, indicating that said consciousness can be destroyed.
So, to me, that sounds like creating a different kind of zombie.
We don't know. Through these spells, we have the ability to mend these situations which we now assume can be imposed upon creatures. But we don't know exactly what form that takes, what the effects are. We simply know how to undo it.
I think we need to maybe ask Tassa.
Ask her what?
If she can give us more clarification on the subject.
No, well, we're waiting for them to come back, so
Oh no.
yeah. When they come back today at 6, we'll talk to them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, at
So
this
now we
point,
wait.
you've probably got about a little less than an hour before the rest of the people show up.
I just say we wait until they get here.
Mm-hmm. Well, no. Talk to him about the message spell.
Oh, you need to teach this to me. The message spell. Obras Greater Sending.
Oh!
Can you
Oh.
teach it to me?
I believe so.
Brilliant.
Is there a place that we can work where we won't be in anyone's way, but we won't be disturbed?
Would you like to go on the Widow's Walk? At
If
my
that
place?
is where Jas is, then probably not. But if not, we can just bustle over to my room.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna spend the time writing a letter to Dad about Jas and asking for the shipping tour. So I'll go write a letter.
Okay. All right. So, Zorith. Master Obras begins to teach you the verbal intonations and the gestures and how the braided wire is made, because you'll have to get the wire and braid it yourself. All right. After about 45 minutes or so of working with this, I will need you to make an Arcana check.
$15 plus 7 is 22.
Okay. You feel the pattern. You feel like it's ready to settle in, but it needs a place to settle.
Got it.
So you'll have to choose a spell pattern to overwrite.
Yep, I did.
Okay. Then you now have the ability to cast Obras' Greater Sending.
All right. Thank you much.
All right. Let's see. So it gets to be that time, and Mother Tassa appears. Followed by Father Dilbiss, who is accompanied by a young half-elven woman. Aribell, I need you to make a history check.
Bad enough. 17. 23.
As you get a good look at the woman that's accompanying Father Dilbiss, you experience a bit of a start. You've seen this woman before.
Okay.
And the recollection is not positive. You recognize her as a member of the von Alfthan house.
Well, Aribell won't be rude, but she is definitely waiting for an explanation or an introduction.
Father Dilbiss walks over.
I hope we're not late. We were a bit delayed in our departure, but the High Curate has recommended this young woman to join you. She is a member of the Balmosian Church, but she is a battle healer, so trained.
If you would introduce yourself. Yes. I am Sefryna von Alfthan. I believe I know Lady Aribell.
It's been a long time.
Yes, it has. But I am told that what you are doing is of the utmost importance, and the High Curate requested me specifically. She felt that my skills would be best used by all of you. I recognize most of you. Lady Aribell, you would be Lady Gwenlaren. You would be Captain Greenvale. And you would be Obras's apprentice, Zorith. While we've not met, if I understand my readings correctly, that young man over there is Athgar Skend of Thunder's Edge.
Lord Athgar.
Of course. Lord Athgar. My apologies. And I of course recognize Master Obras. But I don't recognize that gentleman. She looks at Vines. Or this fellow. And she looks at Bo.
What's Vines' rank
Corporal.
and his true last name?
Is Cherrier.
Cherrier. This is Corporal Cherrier.
Corporal.
And what was Arbogast's last name?
Claynanger.
Claynanger.
Claynanger. That's a great name.
Bo.
And this is Arbogast Claynanger.
But you could call me Bo. Very well. If you insist. I would very much like to be made aware what I have been volunteered for.
Lady Aribell?
Before we fill you in, we do need to cast a spell to make sure that you have not been put under the influence of the thing that we're about to go handle.
I assure you I am quite of sound mind.
Well, it's a necessary precaution that every member of our party has undergone.
She looks at Father Dilbiss, and Father Dilbiss, it is necessary. I, too, had to undergo this, but it is painless. Fear not. I am not afraid. Simply displeased. But very well, cast your spell.
And I cast Detect Anomaly on her.
Okay. You do not
Please
detect.
be anomaly.
You do not detect any changes in her memories.
Darn.
Aribell will fill her in.
You see the arrogant facade crumble
Oh,
the
thank
moment you mention
God.
Thuilnu.
Oh, thank
As
God.
someone of elven heritage, I know, like the rest of us with that heritage, you know what that means to our people.
Now I understand why the High Curate sent me. Yes, I do understand. My spells are at your disposal. I will do my best to keep you all hale and hearty.
There are a few spells that Master Obras has managed to uncover from before the shattering that help fight off these intrusions or detect them, like the one I just used on you.
These are the spells that I told you about just before we left.
Ah, yes. Now I understand. I did not know why I was learning these seemingly useless spells, but now I understand. They're not useless, are they?
No, they're quite.
So I'm sure Balmous will grant them to you to aid us in this endeavor.
Well, I certainly hope so. No, I'm certain that he will. Do not fear. Well, I think we should leave these young people and let them begin to strategize.
Well,
We've
you don't want to be here for Mother for Tassa Prenatiel to show up?
And she just did.
She did. She's there.
Oh,
She got there first.
I missed that. My mistake.
Father Dilbiss, may I offer you transport home? That would be wonderful. Thank you, Master Obras.
Aribell goes over to get her hug from Father Dilbiss or to give him a hug before he leaves.
Please be very careful. I don't want to have to send someone in to rescue you.
I will endeavor to do so, and I will keep an open mind of who you've brought to help us.
He reaches up to give you another hug and whispers in your ear,
She would not have been my first choice, but the High Curate has faith in her. So keep that in mind.
If Balmous trusts her, then I suppose I shall.
Well, we're off. I wish you the best of luck, and if there is anything else that we can do, you, especially Zoref, know how to get a hold of me.
and he begins waving his arms, and just before he vanishes, you see his skin turn a beautiful sky blue. And just before he vanishes, it... Oh, damn. Pop.
That's great.
Well, I guess the powwow is next.
Yep. And that is where we'll pick up next week.
Nice.
As the
Good.
group solidifies and receives probably what their final briefing will be from both General Warbender and Tasha Pranatiel. So we'll do that first thing when next we gather. So
Lovely.
thank you all very much for watching. We do so appreciate your time and attention. And we'll be back next Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time here in the United States, where hopefully we will be able to once again welcome you back to the lands of Aecathan. Good night, everybody.